And with much ado about nothing, we are back yet again for the match between Space Age Wizards and the Dream Killers. And the Dream Killers won Game 1 already, so we're going to see how these teams adapt to each other's strategies and what happens. Yet again, Soraka and Tom Kench banned out like last time.
Alright, and we're seeing the same bans. I'm going to be very disappointed if they pick the same bans and then just let TDRK pick the team comp that they want, because Space Age Wizards in the first game chose the red side, so they chose to have that pick, and they didn't actually do anything with it.
Yeah,
decided to ban out that Mundo instead of Quinn.
Yeah, maybe a solid pickup for them. Maybe, I don't know, Quinn not as... I mean, she's a great champion. She's super powerful right now, but maybe it's not what Scholar wants to play, so they decide to risk it. They ban the Mundo, which gave him a lot of hell last time, and Captain Stevie staying true, staying solid as a rock to Malphite.
See, the reason why I praised the Quinn ban in the first game, the reason why I thought it was a great ban for Saul, was because it wasn't that, oh, well, Scholar doesn't want to play Quinn, whatever. But Scholar could play it, Strath could play it, Zark could play it, and Stevie could play it. Because Quinn can be played in all four lane positions right now. Well, 3 lanes in a roll in the jungle. So I was doing that because I wasn't sure how many on their team had actually done it besides Zark. We know Zark had done it a little bit, but if anyone else had done it, it was a flex pick. It could have been gone anywhere. Now, they didn't pick it up for Saw this time, which leads me to assume that they're probably not going to play it. Whether or not Zark or Strat decide to pick it up for their team remains to be seen. The Darius and the Morgana, though, Morgana's a little bit of a flex pick. She can go mid or she can go as a support, and I think that she's usually pretty good in a lot of matchups in mid, but we'll see how that goes. Ooh, the Rammus pick.
Rammus is really powerful right now. Great itemization is help him out back when they did the armor buffs and all that. And the masteries work out pretty well on him too. So he's great in my opinion. Not the most versatile, but he gets the job done pretty effective. However, they have to worry about the black shield, and it might be able to be enough to stop his taunt, but with Captain Stevie knock up, and if they lock in Thresh, there's quite a lot of things, and Morgana's only got 1 black shield for 1 target.
Looks like they're instead going to go for this Tristana. They're going to hold on to that first, not pick the jungle so early. Probably a good idea. The Tristana pick, very good pickup. It's a very strong champion right now as an AD carry, very strong tower pushing potential, and scales very well from a lot of the items. The current major build of going from, what is it, the Static Shiv, Fire Cannon, and Infinity Edge for tons of damage.
Yeah, a lot of attack speed makes her stacking up that explosive shot on enemies and their turrets even more effective. And I really like the Tristana pick for the Dream Killers composition. We know Strathghost loves to play these long-range control mages, and they work amazing in these siege compositions, and that's what Tristana excels at. Rammus actually going to be opted in for on the side of Space Age Wizards, so you can expect to see him in the jungle. I'm assuming that's going to be a Morgana support with Lucian in the bottom lane. Pretty solid combination. A lot of kiting, a lot of kill potential as well, and they're holding the mid lane for a counter pick.
I do like the Vayne pick into the Rammus, because Rammus tends to build a Thornmail, and you want to be able to do a little bit of damage that bypasses that, and of course Silver Bolts does true damage based on your maximum health, so that will help out quite a bit.
You're thinking Vayne jungle?
It could be, maybe.
Or Malphite
it could be...
jungle?
No, because what it could be is it could be like a Tristana mid.
Oh, you're right.
So, but not 100% sure. They could just be floating it just to try it.
They might just be trolling too.
They could just be trolling. I mean, that is entirely possible. Looks like they're going to pick up the Vel'Koz instead. Not sure how I feel about that in the...
So Kennen top, Malphite jungle?
I guess?
I don't believe I've seen a Kennen jungle yet, but...
I guess you could do it. I don't necessarily think it'd be a good idea. I also don't think that Malphite jungle is fantastic right now. At least it doesn't have the amount of weight that the Mundo did last game, so we'll have to see how that's going to go for them. I know that Malphite is good in some scenarios, but not very many. We'll have to see what this last pickup is going to be. This is going to be the mid lane or the support. We'll see if Morgana is actually going to be... Yeah, okay, so it's going to be the Syndra. Syndra versus Vel'Koz. Pretty good matchup.
Well, I love watching the Syndra. She's so fun as a champion.
Who's going to be in the jungle? Looks like it is going to be that Malphite, and it is going to be Kennen in the top lane. Kennen versus Darius. I don't know if one of them has the strict advantage. I know that Kennen is very strong and has a lot of poke, but I know he's very susceptible to being kind of burned down by things like Darius, so he needs to be careful.
Yeah, I feel like if Darius gets an early lead, he's going to snowball that out of control. If Kennen can hold off and not go behind, he's going to be able to poke him down, and he's going to make a huge impact in these team fights. There's a lot of Wombo, yet again, on the side of the Dream Killers. Malphite Wombo, Kennen Wombo, the Death Laser from Vel'Koz coming in on top of that with AoE Tristana. They've got a really solid team fight composition. If you look at Purple side, they're almost very single-target damage build, or building towards single-target shutdown. Morgana can bind a single target. Even though Syndra Scatter the Weak can hit AoE, her ultimate is very single-target oriented. Darius, another guy who wants to slay one target in particular. Rammus's AoE, or his crowd control, the taunt is only going to work on a single target. So, a lot of interesting interactions on how these teams are going to fight it out.
Now, I will say though that if you look at the Rammus pick into the Tristana, the way that it goes out is if Rammus ganks bot lane and gets a taunt off, Tristana's dead. She didn't take cleanse, so she is guaranteed to die.
And if the binding follow-up.
Yeah, she'll get taunted, and she'll get the binding follow-up, and with an ignite and with some auto attacks from Kuro, that is more than enough to kill him. So, need to be very careful in that bot lane. In mid lane, Strathagos being a little bit smarter, picking up that cleanse for himself, seeing if that's going to be any better than it worked out for N- last game, and I think that it will, particularly because, well, Rammus's taunt lasts a long time. It did get a little lower. It's about 2.25 seconds right now, but still, that's a fairly long time to be CC'd.
On top of Binding's root ends up being, what, 2.5 seconds at max rank? So, I mean, that's a grand total of about 5 seconds. Someone's being locked down.
Right.
Just about 5, but...
I will try and speculate a little bit on that topside matchup. I think that Kennen does have a little bit of the advantage there. I don't have any actual statistics to say that he does, but my assumption would be that he is a little better than. Now,
yeah, he has the range harass.
He does have the range harass. However, I don't know how good he's doing in terms of the meta. Because he benefits from, like, Thunderlord's Decree and Deathfire Touch, but not nearly as much as, say, Brand does, or Anivia does, or even Syndra does, in terms of being able to put out a lot of damage in a short span of time. So I don't know if that means that he won't be able to pull out ahead. He will have to play very defensively at first, because bullying Darius may or may not work out. The thing is, if you don't bully Darius, then it's just a farm lane. If you bully Darius and you fail, then it's a losing lane. So it is in his advantage to instead try and farm until the team fights start happening, where he is more useful.
With 3 ignites on Space Age Wizard's side, they are looking to snowball these lanes from the start. They've got a lot of aggressive lane bully collected, whereas Dream Killers have got more passive teamfight oriented, so we're going to see who's going to be able to come out on the top of this early game. Alrighty, we're going to be loading into the Rift pretty soon, folks. Y'all stay tuned, and we'll be on the Rifts shortly. This is House Party 5v5, Game 2 of the Space Age Wizards versus the Dream Killers.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Summoner's Rift. We're in the second game of this series, and it's going to be a good one. We did see the Mundo getting banned out there, so we'll see if that's enough to spin the game into Saw's favor. Of course, we have on the blue side Dream Killers. On the red side, we've got Space Age Wizards. I am on color. My name is Deck Club Ace. Joining me on Play-by-Play today is Thunder, and we've already got a pause, so there you go, Thunder.
The Epic House Party 5v5 pause. Oh, I don't think there's been a weekend without one of these. Almost, probably not even a game without one at this point. So far in this series, we're 2 for 2. Well, technically 3 for 2. There was 2 in the first game.
There was 2 in the first game, and one of them was almost the entire team's pause because of a disconnect. We'll see how this is going to go. Looks like we're seeing some very aggressive top lane picks, both of them picking up the Doran's Blade. Not sure how that's going to go for either one, so we're going to have to find out.
Alrighty,
Return of the Malphite jungle. It's been a while, so we'll see how we're going to get this going. 2 very hard initiate junglers who just kind of want to walk in.
Let's see if Sark can rock our socks with Malphite today. But looks like there might be an invade coming out from the Space Age Wizards, having the taunt and Morgana's Dark Binding. That's a lot of lockdown early on. It's a 4-1 split from both of these teams. Relara might be walking into a trap. There's the team to scare him off. You try to get the ward, but it's cleared out easily by the Dream Killers. They're up in gold.
And of course, Scholar playing the new Dragon Trainer Tristana skin. We will have, if he does die, not saying he's going to die, but if he does die, we will have a moment of silence for the saddest death animation in the entire game. If you haven't seen it yet, oh, just wait for your heartstrings to be plucked.
I don't think I want to cry, man. I wasn't ready for this.
Tears of manly tears.
Ooh, Captain Stevie takes a nice axe to the face, but he's going to get some poke down. Unfortunately, misses the shuriken toss.
That's okay. And minus going back after taking a
Ooh,
little
and there's
rest
the
there.
proc. Dang, Thunderlord's Decree, you OP.
Does do a lot of damage. Has
Oh,
the
and a
longest
sneaky
cooldown,
little...
though.
The sneaky little lane swap from Wilson Jones and Scholar. Deadbeat doesn't have a ward. He is not aware. They're starting a 4-for-1 on that side. The double jungle will help Malphite get the early clear. Kurosekai and Relar completely unawares of what's happening. Deadbeat playing it cautious. His diamond senses are tingling right now. He's kind of hesitant. He's like, wait, where's Kennen? We just saw him.
Missing.
Yep, they know what's going on.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, Flipsa's on the backside, the flay is down, the explosive cask is out, the flash is down, he gets a heal, that's one more auto attack, first blood going over to Scholar, a beautiful setup, a nice execution, and it's gonna net them the first blood.
Well, it's pointless for me to speculate about a Kennen versus Darius matchup if there isn't actually a Kennen versus Darius matchup.
And Flipsa's going pretty low on the red buff, but he does secure it. There's a double jungle going on. Relar is helping him out in case anybody shows up. He's looking like a tri-gank onto Strathkos, who is already well aware of what's going on. He gets caught by the binding, though, trying to get a ward over the bush. He might have to flash here, but Flipsa flashes in also. Gets the knock-up, flash for flash, and the top lane advantage absolutely going over to the Dream Killers. They got the 4-1 quick turret push. They've got Tristan on it. The second wave is here. The explosive shot is on the turret. That's going to be a well-played one. They might need to stop attacking it if they want to bounce it and deny some more experience to Darius here. But it doesn't look like that.
Do they really want to?
I don't know. They might be going for a faster push here.
I mean, they don't need to at this point.
Yeah, Morgana is there to give him some backup now, at least get him some presence, try to get some CS. Kennen did come out on top as of now. He's got 2 CS higher than Darius, but Darius has got a wave and a few casters under his belt, where Kennen's sitting under turret, not too troubled.
He does have a little bit more XP too. He did get some XP from the jungle camps. Strathagos did have to blow his flash, though, to survive. We're going to have to see how this mid lane goes, because I think if he doesn't have his flash up, he's in a lot of danger. He needs to be really careful about pushing up, because he doesn't know that Flipsa is going back. But if Flipsa comes in behind him, there's absolutely nothing he can do to survive.
Even if he gets the slow and the knock-up down, that gives N- free range to scatter his weak.
Right. And Captain Stevie here by himself fighting Kuro. I don't know if he wants to be harassing. He loses these harass trades for now.
Oh, absolutely.
Looking like there's going to be a 3-man bot lane now.
Yeah, they're going for such a quick turret push. A nice strategy adaptation from the Dream Killers. Last game lasted just under 60 minutes, and this game they're looking to close out way faster than they did on that last one. Cannon Minion going over to Captain Stevie.
Well, I mean, when you win on a game like that, if you think about it, you just won off of a game that took a really, really long time.
Ooh, the hook lands on Kurosekai. He's got the shield. He dashes away. Scholar eats a binding, but there's no follow-up because Lucian already had to burn some of his summoners. Strathghost winning the poke war, but losing in CS. Well, he's only up by 1, so I can't really call that losing too bad, but on paper he has less than him.
It is true. He does have less. Now, what I was saying, though, was that if you just came off of a game where you won from a very, very long game, the best thing you can do is to put the enemy team out of their comfort zone from that long game of being in that mindset of, oh, we're going to have a war of attrition. Let's, pick team comps because they're wanting to drag it out. Let's play a team comp that plays really fast. Let's burn down these towers as fast as we can.
And one thing I want to point out in the top side, since the Dream Killers did not bounce the minion wave back towards themselves after they took the turret, Darius has been able to have a steady freeze in the top lane. It's turned into a slow push just due to the initial amount of minions left. And, oh, bottom lane, Scholar going super low. The Ignite was already down. Wilson Jones doing what he can to zone him off, but Kurosekai gets the double shot passive, brings him down.
Well, I was partially right. There wasn't much that Scholar could do to get away from Remus, because there was only one way for him to jump, and it was into Kuro.
It's very true. So, Kennen able to pick up a little bit of CS after that early take. He's got it under his own minion wave, so not looking too bad for him. He did hit level 5 later than Darius did. Deadbeat in a pretty solid spot, even though he's missing his turret. But the gold advantage is just barely higher up for the Dream Killers. He gets pulled in, he's apprehended, he gets hit by the Q, a decent amount of damage, but Captain Stevie has a nice retrade with him.
I think that was a good play until Deadbeat turned around and tried and get another all attack that gave Captain Stevie the opportunity to get that third shock on him so he could stun him.
Yeah, once he got that stun.
If he turned around after getting the decimate damage off, it would have been great. He healed off of it, he did a lot of damage to Captain Stevie, even though Stevie popped the shock to be able to get a little bit of resistances to save himself. It would have been a great trade. But, unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
And look, Deadbeat's level 6 to Captain Stevie's 5. Flash apprehend! He flashes away, though, to get just out in time. Captain Stevie playing it real close to the chest there, but Sark is there sitting on a ward, so Deadbeat's going to just back off after using his summoner. Flipsa is here for support. Let's see if he can powerball his way to a taunt. He finds Sark, instantly starts attacking him down. Deadbeat is here to help him up. He's slowed down by the Reese's Pieces, and they back off. On the bottom lane, a huge chase going on. Scholar looking like he's in trouble, gets a nice jump, but he's caught by the binding. Wilson Jones hits a hook over the wall. Exhaust him is down. Kurosekai not able to find himself a kill, but he has earned himself a free bottom lane with the help of Relara, hitting these beautiful bindings.
It was almost a double kill from Kuro, but he got hit by the exhaust, so he couldn't kill anybody. Scholar managed to get a really nice flash and save himself away. Just overall, not a lot expended from Saw here, though. If you look at it, it looks like Dream Killers used almost all of their summoners. Well, they used all the summoners that were available. They didn't have heal up. And the only things being used on the side of Saw was Flash, and that's it. Ignite was already used earlier.
And Lucian's a great champion for taking down turrets, but they haven't dunked it out quite as much as they would like to even this game out, but he does have a kill under his belt and about 20-some more CS. Wilson Jones walking right into Relara. He lands the hook, but it's Spell Shield. A nice defensive play from Relara is gonna make sure that he doesn't get killed. However, well, Wilson Jones did a great job in slowing down the back timer for them.
Yeah, and Minus here pushing out a little bit, but he doesn't have any mana left, so it looks like he's gonna have to back in addition to Strathagos backing. No, never mind. Going for that blue buff instead. And The slow blue buff kill. Needs to be careful because Flipsa does have red buff, so he can accidentally steal that buff.
That would not be too happy if I was in N-minus's shoes.
That would suck. That would be so bad because if you think about it, he wasted a lot of time trying to help get the buff to himself, and then while that was happening, Strathghost would have gone back and gotten taking some extra damage here.
Nice scatter the weak, putting down the damage. N-minus so accurate on these skill shots from the Dark Spheres. Oh, Sark has found Flipsa in his jungle. Strathghost is giving him some help. The knockup lands, and there's the super death laser. Laser, blazer, taser, whatever. Strathghost gets a kill at the end of the day. That's the second one for the Dream Killers.
It's not a death ray. Let's be fair. Let's not be racist. It's not a death ray. It's a life form disintegration ray. There's a difference. It just happens to kill you.
Because if you're life, then you have to die at some point, unfortunately. That's how it works. Unless you're some immortal being, which would be pretty cool. And if you guys do have that secret figured out, you should put it in Twitch chat.
I bet it's memes. You can live on forever through memes.
That is very true. Heroes get remembered, but legends never really die. And
Wilson
the full
taking a lot of
culling
damage
going
here.
out to try to force his enemies off. Sorry to cut you off there. What'd you say, Deck?
So you take a lot of damage from culling here. Flash.
Captain Stevie interrupted on his teleport there. Deadbeat got so much damage onto him, and they just don't want us to talk to each other today, Deck. They just want to keep fighting.
So, just want to say to all the people that were like, oh man, Kennan's just going to win this matchup because reasons, just like, oh, well, he took teleport against Darius. If Darius is in lane, you're not allowed to use teleport. Like, ever.
Captain Stevie's got some decent poke on him, but overall losing. He has been apprehended in. He is getting ulted, and it's just not enough stacks to kill him, but that bleed is intense. It was at 3 stacks. Not enough to kill him, but Deadbeat has secured his dominance over this lane, which is the way Darius likes things to be. Big, bad, and in control.
I think it's funny because he just forced Kennen to go back, and Kennen no longer has teleport, so he just gets to do what he wants for now. He's going to shove another wave into the tower, he's going to go back, and he's going to spend a whole bunch of gold that he's been sitting on. So he's got another 800 gold to spend. What's he going to buy with it? Probably going to upgrade those blades into a Warhammer. Yep, there it is. Valara with the on-point black shields.
Strathghost trying to go all in on N- with the Lifeform Disintegration Ray, using it to cut him down to about a quarter HP. Not enough to kill him, though. And Kurosekai and Rilar definitely putting the handle on this bottom lane. They're putting a lot of pressure on. They're going to end up taking the turret before Tristana. And maybe the Dreamkillers needed to do another, like, 3-4 man push on the bottom side to try to secure the turret after they took that early one, because they're given so much time for the Space Age Wizards to catch back up, and that's the gold from that turret will put them in the lead.
Yeah, if you're trying to do a cheese like that, you definitely need to not take your foot off the gas. You need to keep going with the hard pushes, because you've already committed a lot to doing it. Deadbeat
Sark in the top side.
Sark.
Yeah, Deadbeat's trying to do what he can. Sark has already ulted. Captain Stevie pulls his out, but it's not quite in range. He flashes in, gets the stun. One more auto attack or two will secure the kill for him. He can't do it because he's taunted by Flipsa. Deadbeat heals yet again. Oh, and he doesn't even get the kill. The dangerous game keeps Deadbeat alive.
Let me tell you about Diving Darius. Because Decimate heals for quite a bit when you're low on health. And neither of them have Ignite, so they can't stop him from healing. Zark did not have his ultimate to use. Deadbeat could have used Noxian Guillotine, but he realized he probably shouldn't, because he would probably die.
Well, sorry about that, Captain Stevie, but things happen.
So,
Kurosekai
chat
going in
about that. Chat about that 80-20 Kennen. How's that going for you?
Oh man. Well, Strathghost pushing down the mid lane yet again in his usual style. Rilara and Kurosekai still putting a lot of pressure on the bottom lane. They've pushed well past the enemies, their own turret, into the enemy zone. And Kurosekai is not letting off the gas pedal down here. He's got a 2-level advantage over Scholar. He's got a full Essence Reaver, and Scholar's just freezing the lane out. He's going to try to deny some of this XP to Kuro, but while doing that freeze, he frees up Kuro to roam to other parts of the map, Deadbeat chasing Captain Stevie with a horde of minions at his side.
So I just gotta, I need to draw some attention to the build real quick. I'm not gonna talk about a lot of the champions yet. There's not a lot of builds being put out, but N- has a Frost Queen's claim as Syndra mid.
It allows him to get the slow.
Goes.
Oh, and there's the coming in from Flipsa. A nice lantern will save him after getting scattered from the weak, but the turret is secured. Wilson Jones flashes in with the flay. The life form disintegration rate is going to get N-. One more auto attack. Wilson Jones secures it. Sark's on the backside. He's trying to get to their lines, but he's just. Oh, there it is. He gets the ult and the flay from Wilson Jones. That could be a kill. Strafkos gets the credit, but Sark gets taken out by the turret. Kurosekai is still at full health. He's decently low mana. He might have just enough to clear this wave, but there's a lot of members he has to be afraid of. He's dodging the skill shots. He's got such quick and nimble feet.
But he's got an Essence Reaver. He's fine on mana. He looks like he's low on mana, but he's not really low on mana.
Oh, Deadbeat gets a nice hit onto Captain Stevie. The stun is out, but he's already hit him with the true damage, the ignite, and the bleeder. Just too much for him to handle. Deadbeat wants more. Wilson Jones is in his sights. He's locking in on him. Here it comes. He gets a decimate right as the Dark Binding lands. Double kill for him. And he's going to show a little bit of his Team Ice Flare while he's at it. Oh, Kuroseka's so close to taking out Strathghost before Sark showed up.
That's okay. Doesn't quite have the crit to be able to get this, the perma-sustain mana he wants, but that's okay. Deadbeat picking up some nice gold for himself, and would you looky there, he's got 30 CS and 2.5, 2 plus assist, total gold over Captain Stevie. So,
yeah,
that kind of not working out for them as they thought it would. He is almost able to get his Zonias, though, so we'll see how that goes against him in a moment. Zonias does kind of help you against Darius, not really.
He's more looking for the team fight
for a second there. It is more useful in a team fight, that is true. And once again, I will say, he will be better in team fights as long as Darius isn't really far ahead.
And that's why you use the Spooky Ghost. Strathghost is already immobile, gets scattered as he's weak, gets taunted, and he is destroyed with an unleashed power.
Gives him the cold shoulder, turning him into a nice little statue and breaking him down.
Kind of like the Space Age Wizards are doing to this dragon oh so quickly. This is going to be the first one for them on this game. Now they're going to match it up with the Dreamkiller's early dragon. However, they are winning by 2 turrets and they are up 4,000 gold. That's exactly what you'd expect from a Darius and Syndra Lucian laners. They have so much bully potential, and even though Dreamkillers took the early turret, they really put a stop to their aggression, and it just allowed another chance for Space Age Wizards to get back in this game. And they've got a 5-man push in the bottom lane. Wilson Jones, nice hook over the wall, but just to slow Deadbeat down. Scholar can't even get close to this minion wave to try and clear it without fear of getting pulled in. The Apprehend catches Wilson Jones, but Deadbeat is still taking turret aggro. Oh, Captain Stevie's in behind him. He's going down, he's so low, but he gets out. The life form disintegration ray cutting across the Space Age Wizards. Sark is here, he's trying to get to them, but he's too slow. The kiting potential from the Space Age Wizards is too strong. But they are forced off of the turret.
They did manage to get Flipsa, but it cost Zarg both his flash and his unstoppable force to manage to get that. And they still took a lot of damage down on that bot side turret. Turret's down below half health now, and as we saw, Kuro can rip through those towers really fast. Deadbeat possibly could have even killed somebody there. He just didn't have the boots yet, so he couldn't keep up with anybody.
Okay, there's something interesting you mentioned earlier, the Frost Queen's claim in the mid lane. It gives you 50 AP, you get the active ghost to chase him down, pretty much guaranteeing that you land your next crowd control ability. You also get 150% base mana regeneration. That's more than the base mana regeneration from Athene's, although you don't have the mana font passive. It is so powerful, plus you get to stack gold even quicker. Every time you harass your lane opponent, it just gets, what's about like 8 gold?
Well, okay, so it's
every time you hit them?
If you hit them without killing minions. Unfortunately, if you kill minions, it does turn the passive off. Now, once you upgrade it fully, it does not turn off anymore. So it just doesn't do that anymore. Now, I will say, in comparison to another regen item that is often built on mid laners, it has the same base mana regen. No, I'm sorry, it has 50% more base mana regen than Morellonomicon for a relatively similar cost.
It's less
So,
AP, but
less
less
AP,
cooldown.
less utility against, say, a regen team, but it also gives that really strong Spooky Ghost passive or active ability. Looks like they're gonna trade the Herald for mid tower.
Not too bad for them, and they're gonna just go ahead and push down the mid lane. Dream Killers, or sorry, sorry, Space Age Wizards has got the Rift Herald buff. They want to make it happen. There's a 2-people split bottom lane for the Dream Killers, and they don't really have a way to contend this. They're not even gonna really give it a shot, it looks like. They left Scholar there to push on his own. Wilson Jones getting caught out by Deadbeat. Decimate is down. He has the dunk, and the shield is up, but he's bleeding, and he's burning, and he's down. This is going to be probably a pretty easy turret for the Space Age Wizards unless Strathghost decides just to ult to get rid of some of the minions in the next wave. Sark goes to catch him. The Lifeform Disintegration wears out. Captain Stevie with the kill after his Slicing Maelstrom gets the stun down. Ooh, Strathghost catches a binding, but they don't follow up.
Just to say, pretty much, it doesn't matter who you are. If you've been ignited, if you get hit by a full damage Noxian Guillotine and you have 5 stacks of bleed on you, chances are you're probably about to die. Doesn't matter if you have shields or sustain, you're probably dead.
Alrighty, Space
around
Age
doing a little bit more.
Space Age Wizards got 2,500 gold lead as of right now. A nice wave clear by Kurosek. Sorry,
ward clear.
Ward clear, not wave. The other word that begins with a W. Too many W's for me to handle right now, dude. Many W's.
What will you do about it?
Well, that was another word with a W. Okay. Moving on from the alphabet stew that is my mouth. We are going to look at a possible Baron attempt. It'd be very risky without anybody getting any kills, but they're definitely setting up vision for it. Dream Killers does not like giving up control of this area. The last game they had so many wards around there, it was lit up like a Christmas tree.
I definitely don't think that Dream Killers wants to fight at Baron right now. They don't have Slicing Maelstrom. They don't have Unstoppable Force. They do have Lifeform Disintegration rate, but they really want to combo that with some of the stuns they get from some of their other utility ultimates. So they're just going to have to defend this tower. This would be a really good time to try and bait out something else.
Possibly looking for a split push. His teleport is coming up pretty soon for Captain Steve. Might be looking to do something of that sorts, but I don't know if the Dream Killers want to split up just yet. They've got top wave not exactly in their favor, and bottom lane Scholar is definitely making it go away from them, so they've got that in their pocket as well.
Making sure all this vision is cleared out, much as they can get anyway. Bot side slowly rolling towards the side of TDRK. They're going to have to deal with that if they don't want it to push in while they're dealing with Baron. And they've been looking at Baron quite a bit, so this would be a good time. Dragon's going to be respawning here in a second, and that will be the second dragon for either team.
Yeah, and Dreamkiller is definitely a little bit late to the punch here. They just decide to go down mid lane, give it up. It's not worth the fight to them. It's only the second dragon. Space Age Wizards absolutely going to secure that. So I don't know what they're going to try to do here. Maybe make a pick on somebody. However, those spooky ghosts are going to deter them from trying to do anything. Nice poke coming out from Strathghost. Luden's Echo gives him so much extra damage on top of his abilities hitting.
Right, and if you looked, N- at the same time also picked up his own Luden's Echo, so if it pushes in far enough and a poke fight starts happening, both of the mages are going to be doing so much damage, but I think in the end, unless the ultimate comes out from Zark and the Flash Engage comes out from Captain Stevie, it's going to go slightly towards Saw, because their team fighting comp is much stronger. They can deal with Strathagos if they manage to reach him. They can deal with a lot of things at range because of Kuro. So it's really going to depend on how the fights start. If it starts with, oh, we're going to collapse onto them, and if they manage to get Strathagos really early, it'll be great. Ideally, they don't want to catch Strathgos super early unless they can kill him instantly. They want to catch him when he starts using his ultimate, because then they interrupt his ultimate and they will also probably get his cleanse, so that's twice as valuable.
Oh, and a teleport from Captain Stevie just to get himself out of danger. That is not what the Dream Killers needed. But it saved them from a kill and possibly giving up a Baron after having a member picked off. And I really want to talk more about what you were saying on these team fights. Dream Killers needs a lot more setup, and they need a lot more of their positional advantages, like Captain Stevie getting a flank or having a teleport come in. Whereas the skirmishes are definitely going to go into favor of Space Age Wizards. They've got a lot more single target damage and pick potential. So, I mean, even if it is a full 5-on-5, they can focus down the team members really easily, where Dream Killers have a lot of spread out damage. Oh, and the full culling coming out. Strathgos getting chunked after scattered.
Well, that's one of the dangers of playing a squishy mid lane mage. Occasionally you take a whole bunch of damage when you're fighting another squishy mid lane mage. So they definitely need to back away from this fight. This is not something they want. They may even need to give up this tower unless they get a really, really good ultimate out from Zark here.
Yeah, the wave clear, they're doing what they can with it, but ooh, Deadbeat just barely missing his apprehend. They're not able to make the engage that Space Age Wizards was looking for, but the siege will continue. Top lane being pushed in. Bottom lane not in Space Age Wizards' favor, but they do have this siege working for them. The mid lane turret is already under half HP. Let's see if they're able to keep it up. Strathgos is going to try his best to do the wave clearing duties, but it's not quite enough. N- scattering them back yet again. Unfortunately, Lucian is too short range to get in. Wilson Jones popping the Righteous Glory. They might be going on Deadbeat here, but Sark is getting caught out. Flipso's the receiving end of the hook. Sark gets instantly exploded. Wilson Jones kiting backwards. He's afraid of Deadbeat, but he is apprehended into the middle of the team. Dark Binding is going wide. He gets flayed in. He's going into the box. A flash force from Deadbeat, but the full culling is going to deny the other team. Flipsa gets knocked back out. The Lifeform Disintegration Ray blowing them up, but Strathgos goes down first. They're diving between the two turrets. Right now, Space Age Wizards so far ahead. Kurosekai needs to get out of that turret real quick. That might be one more going over. That's a 4 for 2. 1. None. What is counting?
None.
I can't
Nobody
do
died.
it.
Now, I will say, Deadbeat got close to dying twice, but he hit 2 people with Decimate twice, and he has a Spirit Visage. So whenever he hits you with that, it's 12% of his missing health per target, so he gets 24% back, right? Wrong, he got 20% more. He's low on health, so his regen from having that is kicked up too. It's great. He almost died while diving towers. That was insane. And they still almost got another person. That was so close to an ace. Easiest inhibitor ever.
Alrighty, now they're looking towards Baron, possibly with the extra wave pressure they have acquired for themselves. Space Age Wizards going to be looking to move that ward line up into the river, possibly into the blue side jungle of Dream Killers. But Dream Killers is first to the Scuttle Crab, and they get his reward. They got the Speed Shrine, they've got the vision from it, they've got so many wards around the pit, even that cute little dragon one in the Baron Arena.
Isn't it so adorable? No, don't kill it.
Oh, Wilson Jones gets binded. Oh my gosh, Baron's hitting him, he's receiving the culling, the spooky ghosts are down, but he gets out just in time.
That would have been the most embarrassing way to die.
Yeah.
You get killed because Lucian uses culling on Baron.
Alright, let's see if Space Age Wizards decides to go for it. They might just be looking for a spike. The ghosts are spooky. They're out looking for their targets. They find Strathgos. Flips is rolling around so quick, but they decide just to head right back into Baron. Kuro has started it up. They've got a pink ward in the pit, so they know that Dream Killers has no vision of it, but Sark showing up is enough to deter them from this.
I think that that's actually a fine play. Like, you're not 100% certain that everyone is backing. They don't have vision of the entirety of the jungle on TDRK's side. So they don't know if Zark being aggressive is him trying to, like, desperation save, or his team is actually waiting nearby. So, good pull-off, good job. You managed to clear out the vision towards Baron, and you stopped them from doing Baron for now.
Yeah, even if they didn't get a direct benefit from it, they're playing safe, they're playing smart, and they're still keeping their pressure up. They got an immense 7k gold lead as of right now. They're setting up for the third dragon. They're already leading on that. Deadbeat catches Zark as they're going in, but is it really him catching Zark as Deadbeat looks like he's caught? He's in the life form disintegration rate. The kill goes over to Scholar, and Minus is the next target. He gets stunned up by Captain Stevie, and that's going to be a 2 for none. The Dreamkillers going for their second dragon as we speak. Dreamkillers are starting to come back into this game.
That was such a weird fight because, like, there's no real reason why Deadbeat and Minus should have been there. No one else is nearby. Kuro was in base buying, Flipso was just coming out of base, Rolara is doing vision duty. So they just kind of, like, were near Dragon placing wards, I guess? But no, because they didn't use Farsight.
Oh my gosh, Kurosekai using the calling on Captain Stevie, not quite enough to take him down, but he will have to return to base, and he got the wave clear as well. So, lots of pressure being held with, lots of pressure being held via the waves from the Space Age Wizards.
Flipso not quite getting his Thornmail yet. Whether or not he's actually going to build it remains to be seen. Very common thing that we do see on these Rammus plays, even against AP, because, well, if you taunt somebody, they take a lot of damage between your Thornmail and the Defense Ball Curl. Now, they did lose Dragon, but Saw still does have quite a commanding lead here. They have about 5,000 gold over their opponents, and both the waves are pushing in their favor. This would be a fantastic time to try and force a Baron fight.
Looks like they're going to go for a little death bush bait here. They've swept it out. They know nobody is nearby.
But what they don't
Dreamkillers
know
are right in their hesitation. Flipso looking for a pick. He's coming in real quick. He's caught Zark. The binding is down. The taunt is there. The lantern awaits him on the other side of the wall, but Unite can't not reach the passage. Scholar's getting caught out by Deadbeat. He has to jump away to safety, and his team is there to give him some backup. Stevie has already used his teleport to get there from the bottom lane. The Spooky Ghost route. Flipso wants to get another taunt. It is Wilson Jones. Flipso's getting annihilated there. This life form disintegration rate doing so much damage, but they can't keep up. Strathghost gets ulted. He flashes away. Kurosekai taking a turret shot, but he's able to get out just in time.
Strathghost might still die here. Nope. Barely surviving.
Wow, that bleed is ridiculous. They're going to start up the Baron. Space Age Wizards almost absolutely uncontested here. They have to stay back. Flipsa and Kuro are quite low. Luckily, Deadbeat is able to tank it up. There's the heal pop because they just want to be safe. Not sorry about this Baron buff. It is going down.
They need to back
there it
now.
is. It is secure
right now.
You are absolutely right, Deck. Captain Stevie's coming in quick. He can't find anybody. They all get out just in the nick of time. Space Age Wizards get some kills. They get the Baron, and they're going to be able to keep up this map pressure. Dreamkillers are going to be relegated to wave clear at this point.
And if they're not careful, that'll be the game. Because at this point, mid lane is open. The inhibitor is available to be killed. Bot side, there's a wave that is pushing towards Spooky Midnight, or sorry, Space Age Wizards. You keep saying Spooky Ghost. I keep thinking this is a Spooky Midnight game. So
I'm pretty scared.
I'm pretty scared. There's 2 Spooky Ghost generators on the team. Like, look at that. Look at all of that value. There's so much CC, so Flipsa can always catch somebody. We even saw the Black Shield, how useful that was, because the box was in a really good placement, but it doesn't matter if Flipsa can just roll through it and not care.
And if the Dreamkillers want to kill the Dream, they're out of luck here because they're turning into a spooky little nightmare.
Seeing if they're going to do anything with this, they're pushing down the mid side.
Got the Baron buff, they want to do it. Strathghost does not have either summoners. Scholar, however, has both of his. Stevie does not have Flash to get into the fight. They're going to have to kite back and make it do with what they got. Sark gets a 3-man knockup. There's Lifelorn Disintegration Ray to follow up on it. Captain Stevie's getting blown up on the front line. There's Great Peel coming out from Wilson Jones, and Deadbeat might not be able to find a kill on Sark, but he is bleeding, but he will go down. Scholar finds a kill. He goes for another one on M-, jumping in aggressively. Kurosekai goes to turn it. He's able to get the kill. He's running away. He's got double buffs, but Flipsa might not be able to get out alive. One more skill shot from Strathghost will stop him. A nice little sidestep will get him out of there, but Wilson Jones has the play, and he gets the kill.
So close, but so far away. And the fight actually was looking like it was going to go more towards Saw at the moment, because when we saw, it was, oh, okay, so we traded our support for their top laner. So we killed AoE CC for AoE CC, that's fine. But Strathagos managed to get a whole bunch of damage down before Rolara was able to stop him. So, unfortunately, that meant that there wasn't really much that the rest of Saw could do. They were already below half health, and the rest of the team shows up.
Yeah,
Bro, just ripping through all of this. We see 2 Thornmails coming out on Deadbeat and
my
Flipsa.
gosh.
Talk about lots of armor coming out. That did almost save Flipsa, though, if you saw. He almost survived that. If he had a little bit more MR, he might have lived.
Yeah, so it's a pretty bad team fight for Space Age Wizards because they lost 4 members that had Baron buff up. Kuro still got his, but not for much longer. It's going to be fading off. Yeah, it's already faded off right now. So they got the Baron. They lost the next fight. They did not get the inhibitor. Space Age Wizards needs to be a little bit more careful how they approach this next fight. Maybe having some more side lane pressure could work in their favor. But the Dreamkillers are playing a very great defensive game as of right now. If they can keep this up, they will be able to close that gold gap, and once you get to around 65,000 gold, 70,000 gold, everyone starts becoming full build. Wilson Jones getting caught out by the Apprehend. He gets binded, he gets taunted, he's going to be absolutely incinerated. Deadbeat is going in for some more, but it looks like they don't want to rush right in. The Dragon's at 3,000 health, but Dreamkillers have to give it up. This is going to be going over to the Space Age Wizards. That's number 3 of the game.
They thought they had a good setup there, but unfortunately they weren't really expecting to take so much damage in such a short span of time. Strathagos almost dying to just Deadbeat landing a Decimate and then igniting him.
That's a
You
scary
get a little bit of
situation
armor
to be
there,
in. Yeah, Azania's would help him greatly, I believe. He's going up against a fair amount of attack damage from the top lane and the AD carry, and it gives him a little bit more defense because he is immobile.
I don't actually know if I agree. Like, I mentioned it, but I don't know if Azania's would actually be a good pick, because I think a death cap would be better for him here. There's so many team fights where the fight is over before Saul even gets to him. So at the moment, it's not very valuable. Saul doesn't have a way of getting to him besides walking at him.
That is true. Even though, yeah, because Flipsa doesn't really have a way to get to the backline without a flank, and since Dreamkillers have been pushed pretty far in, Sark opening up with the unstoppable force. They've caught out Flipsa. The Lifeform Disintegration Ray not quite enough to take him down, but they do force his flash away.
Well, but Zark doesn't have his flash either, so really they just even that.
Well,
So I don't know if that's worth.
Well, he didn't use his flash in the engage. It was from earlier.
That's fair. They didn't get that, but that also puts them really far out of the way, so the inhibitor's going to take a lot of damage here.
And that's pretty big for Dreamkillers, like you were saying. Oh, hook lands on Rolara. He's going in. That's a 2-man knockup from Strathghost. Oh my gosh, there's so much electricity is blowing up the entire side of the Space Age Wizards. But N- and Deadbeat have their free reigns right now. Sark's going super low. Kurosekai still alive. He's hitting the inhibitor. That's going to go over to the Space Age Wizards. And I was about to say they don't have reliable engage on the Dreamkillers, and without Malphite, they just got smashed.
You know, it's true though, because like the fight started, they walked into Saw, and Strathagos wasn't quite in a good position to use Lifeform Disintegration Ray. Zark couldn't line them up with Unstoppable Force like he could before. So just overall, the fight was a lot weaker than it could have been. The only reason that they've been able to hold on so far has been these combos that they've been pulling off. But the combos don't work if the abilities aren't available.
Yes, they're very dependent on their cooldowns when they need to fight, whereas Space Age Wizards is looking at a lot less cooldown on their picks. Dark Binding, Scatter the Weak, the Taunt, even Apprehend are very short cooldowns in comparison to the Malphite's ultimate.
It's kind of interesting, though, when you think about it, because while all of Saw does have some
Oh,
valuable
Sark
ooh,
is
Sark
getting caught out in the top lane. Sorry to cut you off there. And Unstoppable Force burned yet again. Baron is up in 10 seconds. That means Dreamkillers don't have a reliable way to get in there unless Captain Stevie is able to flash in with the Maelstrom. However, that summoner is not available for him either. This could be a very grim situation for the Dreamkillers. Space Age Wizards going to start up the Baron. They are already starting to chunk this thing down. They've got their two massive tanks on the front line. Relara and N- are on distraction duty. It is going down to about 4,000 HP. Sark is in there, but he doesn't have an ult. They can't get in. The smite is down, and that is going to be secured for Space Age Wizards. They're going to start the push down mid lane. I do believe they've got the supers there already. Yeah, top lane, sorry. Mid lane has the supers there. They're rotating towards top as we speak. The bottom lane is also in their favor. They've got a cannon wave arriving just now. These Baron minions are going to be very hard to kill. Strathos is the only one who can hit them from far enough away, and with those two cannon minions, he's going to be very hard-pressed to clear them. But Space Age Wizard backs out. They want to heal up, they want to item up, and they're going to restart this pressure.
I almost don't agree with that. There's not anything that they're buying that is, like, super important.
Yeah, I think they could have kept fighting
The only person who bought
there.
an upgrade that was valuable was Kuro. He picked up Lord Dominic's Regard, right? So, but that was the only person that bought a completed item. So, I think they should have pressured that back. Zark isn't going to have his ultimate for another 20 seconds or so. He didn't have it for another 20 seconds before that, so they could have forced pressure on there and possibly gotten something out of it. Now, I guess maybe they want to at least do something with their Baron this time. They do have bot side is pushing in.
Yeah, I think
mid is going to continually push.
I think they're just a little bit hesitant after what happened last time. They went right in for the base with the Baron, and they got 4 of them killed right off the bat. They didn't do anything with it, so this time they're taking a little bit more cautious approach. But that's going to give the Dreamkillers time to react. There's already 5 down there. There's 5 down there for the Space Age Wizards. The siege has commenced. The Cannon Minion is blasting down this turret. They're able to get this with no contest whatsoever. Dreamkillers just want to sit back in the base. Scatter the Weak catches out Captain Stevie. Strathos is already out of there. The full culling dodged by the Zanya's Hourglass, but that means yet again another one of their engage tools is down. Dreamkillers running out of options to make the aggressive play here, although they might not want to. They don't exactly have the chance. These 2 cannon minions with the Baron buff are going to be chunking this turret down. Super's still pouring in through the mid lane of the base. Space Age Wizards just got to sit back, relax, wait for the next wave to show up, and eventually they will whittle down the Dreamkillers base.
See, one of the things I was mentioning earlier, and it kind of got cut off because of the Zark getting caught out thing, while Saw does have some valuable ultimates, they have the Noxian Guillotine, they've got, Wilson Jones thinking he's got something, but he doesn't. They've got the Soul Shackles, they've got the Culling, they've got all these very valuable ultimates, but they don't need their ultimates to fight you. Whereas Dreamkillers does need their ultimates. They have not won a fight unless they had a good combo of Lifeform Disintegration Ray and Unstoppable Force with maybe a
Zark
little bit
gets
of
caught out by the Dark Binding, but there's not much follow-up. And that play looked like it was going to be a lot more exciting than it was. The Spooky Ghosts are out. The Binding hits Scholar. Let's see if they want to take it. Zark gets a 2-man knockup. N- was shielded, so he wasn't put into the air. Captain Stevie gets instantly blasted backwards. He's trying to get the stuns. He's getting annihilated. Deadbeat is going in for the kill as we speak. That's 2 under for him. That's 3 for him. Is that 4? That's a triple kill. Could this be it? Strathos is so low, he's getting blood down, but Kurosekai decides to secure it. That's a triple kill for Deadbeat. Super's in the middle of the base. That's going to be the inhibitor. They might be able to tie it up here with 30 to 50 seconds left on the death timers. The surrender comes out from the from the Dreamkillers. Space Age Wizards tying the series up 1-1. The long-awaited 3rd match of the day for them will be coming to you next.
Alright guys, that was great. Stay tuned. It should be crazy.
It will be.